Hey guys, this is Paris Keeley with Innocence Thriving TV, also known as ITTV. Today my mom and I have the opportunity of interviewing the two co-founders of the Hope Box, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, Sarah Keppen and Tiffany Tarola. Sarah, a wife and mother of 5, is passionate about building strong families, which only makes sense as she is one of 12 children. Tiffany, a wife and mother of 3, who is also a musician, singer, and songwriter, have come together side by side, accomplishing God's message of hope to the innocent ones in need. So without further ado, let us call them. Hi guys!
Hi!
Hi! So,
how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing really, really good. Great. Thanks.
Good.
That's awesome. You ladies look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you.
So I'm just going to jump right into it. As mentioned in the intro, the viewers know a little bit more about you all, but how did you all initially meet?
Interesting story there. The Lord had actually pointed Tiffany out to me, and through prayer, and one day I was driving, the Lord said, you need to call her, and you need to encourage her in some things that I've been putting on her heart. And I was like, Lord, I don't even know her. And the Lord was like, do it. And so I stepped out in faith and gave her a call and said, I know we don't really know each other except for through friends, but I have a word for you and some things God's been put on my heart. And Tiffany, what did that do for you?
Basically, she called me out on some things, and I was like, okay, I like you. You're real.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and we actually got to know each other a little better at my 30th birthday, so that was really fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we started talking, and one day she stopped and said, Sarah, you share a lot of things with a lot of people, but what's on your heart? And I began to share about how God really put the Hope Box on my heart. And at the same time, I had no idea what God had been doing in her.
Wow.
Yeah, so with that, she began sharing about how she had the vision of doing the Hope Box, and I go, really funny. I was like, stop there. I don't even want to hear about it. Because the Lord has been telling me this for 4 years.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And so Tiffany looked at me and said, we can do this. And I went, okay, let's do this.
I was like, we can do this. And she's like, okay.
That's so awesome.
That's how we started.
Wow.
And when did you realize there was more than just a beautiful friendship, but an awakening and partnership?
Well, I think that we realized it when,
It's kind of immediately.
it was immediately, and we both really felt a strong presence of the Lord, and similar anointings on our lives, but yet so different. And one thing the Lord has really taught us, both individually and then together, strong about identities and the call that He has to the nations and to the world for us both. And we both just had a really strong confidence in ourselves with the Lord, but also with each other, and it just went deep. Really, really fast. Very fast, yeah.
Wow.
That's so
That's
awesome.
amazing. I love that.
Okay, so now about the Hope Box. We love the purpose. It's truly a monumental, life-changing organization. And of course, the name immediately sends the message of none other than hope. So can you tell us the moment the Hope Box was conceived?
Oh, I would say the moment for me the Hope Box was conceived is I had a son that was dropped off on my doorstep at 3.
Wow.
And it was the first time I realized that this happens. And it's not because I don't want to all paint a picture that his mom wanted to do that or there was something wrong with her, because I honestly believe she loves him deeply. I really, really do, but she just couldn't take care of him. And from there, I got asked to be a part of different boards to try to get DFACs to get along in different counties and different situations in the state of Colorado. And it led me to an awakening of what's happening in our own backyards without people don't even realize that, these people aren't doing it because they're not, when you abandon a child, you do that out of desperation and usually out of fear or other things going on. And so my eyes were really awakened and to birth that in me.
Wow.
Wow. That's incredible.
Oh my God, Tiffany.
And what about you, Miss Tiffany? When was that moment when the Hope Box was conceived in you? As well?
It would be for me when I originally saw the preview for the documentary for the Dropbox 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I had watched it with a friend, and I was just like, that is what I want to do. And I grew up with my mother, her parents, my grandparents and my great-grandparents were both foster care families where they fostered children. So my mom grew up taking care of foster kids and her family, sometimes up to 12 kids in the house.
Wow.
So I grew up with a heart and desire for fostering and adoption. And so when I saw this about abandoned babies, I was like immediately drawn to it because it was something natural for me to be a part of. So yeah, that's why.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Gosh, that's amazing, isn't it?
For others who are hesitant to step out, what were you thinking when you took the first step?
Well, we were thinking, here we come, world. Really, the first step was really just saying yes to God. That was really the first step. The first time that I realized it's a matter of saying yes. So many of us know that we're called to destinies and we're called to do things in the kingdom and be world changers. And I think often it's a matter of just saying yes. Lord, I care about the things you care about.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to say yes to you. And it was immediately after that, there were multiple times Tiffany and I were like, wow, this is huge, God. I mean, your vision is so huge. And we tried to actually slow it down 2 times. And both times, God went even faster for us.
That's incredible. I know that's like,
So
Yeah.
we knew that it was, and when we went back to the Father about it, he said, I'm not waiting on you.
Yeah.
And he said,
Wow.
I have kids now.
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
We realized it was much bigger than us and a dream that we had, but it was something that the Lord had been orchestrating, and we're just waiting for our divine connection to meet and to set up and just to say yes and go for it.
yeah, that's so incredible that you both kind of had the same purpose in your life, like your whole lives, and then you finally got to connect, and then God just knew that you guys were gonna birth out the Hope Box, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
So what was the moment you both moved from an awareness level of a tragic problem to actively providing a solution to this seemingly lofty epidemic?
Well, we first started talking about it and then developing the idea of it. But it was in December when we decided to really step out and do it. And that's when we decided to launch it out and just kind of bring our vision to the internet, really, Facebook. We're just like, this is what we want to do. I started our website and it was just like vision casting. And so we stepped out in December to really bring this to life and just get networked and connected with people around us in the community to see where God will bring this.
And we knew it was a problem in the community where most people were unaware of the fact of abandonment. And I really think recently the Dropbox was released, and that brought some more awareness. Indiana's got boxes they're putting everywhere to bring some awareness. And
Wow.
it's actually something that's happening worldwide. It's just not brought here in America yet. And with all what we didn't realize is how much it would affect sex trafficking. We did not realize that. We had people that had been advocates for years in sex trafficking come to us and say, do you understand how much of a blessing this is in this world? And we had no idea. We didn't put 2 and 2 together at first, but we've been able to really see that kind of correlate and how that correlates.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that was the thing I think that brought great awareness even to us was, oh my gosh, this is like a preventative measure. This is going on the other spectrum, so to speak, of getting these babies out of that cycle of getting,
Yeah, because when you're pregnant, when you're in sex trafficking and you're pregnant, you're actually considered damaged goods. you're actually not. So often what they do is they get a friend to help them deliver the baby.
Okay.
So wherever they're at, and then either they abandon the baby, or the pimp abandons the baby, or the pimp abandons and uses it as leverage against her, and it's just a really bad situation. And often, we know that if you know anything about sex trafficking, they're very manipulative.
Yes.
The people that they're involved in, and so there's a lot of mind games. And so often these moms detach right away from these babies because they see it as trouble, not as something that is of value in a life. And so we come in and say, you know what, we don't need to know anything. No questions asked. This is a safe place that anybody can bring their babies, and we will make sure they get adopted out. And it's also an alternative to even anybody that's involved in that world to be able to take that as an option. And we're also willing to come to them. We're creating an extract team that can actually go to them too. So we can even deliver the baby and take the baby back to the Hope Box and get it adopted.
Wow, that is so good. That is incredible.
I love God, how he is so, he doesn't run out of ideas.
No.
No.
And he truly is pursuing us.
That is so right on. That is so right on.
So, what is it that you all foresee taking place within the Hope Box?
There is so many elements to the Hope Box, and we've only shared just a little bit on the internet and our website right now of how we're going to do this. But we have, a whole medical side to us. We have the adoption side. We eventually will have counseling center through that to help the adoptive families, just to connect with each other and kind of like a mommy and me thing, so that the mothers and fathers can bring their babies together and create community as well.
Wow.
There's just so many things that are unveiling as further on that we go and develop this.
Now I'm on our last and final question. What are the different ways people can get involved with this amazing organization?
Well, there's multiple ways they can get involved. We need volunteers. We need people that are willing to help volunteer on spreading the word, getting it out there on social media, getting it out there in any way that they know how. We are the first in the nation to do this, and so it's really exciting. There's other ways you can get involved. We need medical people to come and volunteer. We're going to be open 24 hours a day. We need volunteers to come into the nurseries once we're open, and everything from supplies to even, honestly, even raising funds for us, helping us raise funds to make this happen. We're really excited about the things God's bringing to us. We're excited about some adventures coming up this summer, which is just going to be amazing that God has laid at our doorstep. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
It is, but stay tuned.
Yes.
So, really there's lots of ways to get involved. And talents. If you have a talent with web, if you have a talent with, doing apps or anything technical or anything you want to donate to the Hope Box is a huge blessing for us.
Okay, thank you all so much for letting us interview you. This is Sarah and Tiffany from the Hope Box. It was an honor getting to interview you and getting to see what God is working within you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
For more information on the Hope Box, go to thehopebox.org.